1-1.
Jó estét kívánok, sziasztok, sok szeretettel üdvözlök mindenkit. Good evening for everyone. Márko Rossi várja a kérdéseket a mai mérkőzést követően. So we are waiting for the questions to head coach Márko Rossi.
Translate, please.
Dobro večer svima. Pres konferencija će početi. Tu je Marko Rossi i otvoreni smo za pitanja. Možete početi.
Gospodine Rossi, ja sam Zlatko Hasnegić, portal sportskivijesti.com. Važna pobjeda za vaš tim, sigurno, i pobjeda koja vam vrlo vjerovatno daje veliku šansu da ipak opstanete u Ligi nacija, a jer je teško vjerovati da se stvari po tom pitanju zadnja 2 kola mogu promijeniti. Pa ipak to je samo neko moje mišljenje, vi ste stručnjak i zanima me šta ćete vi reći na tu temu. Hvala.
So, Mr. Rossi, this is a big victory for your team. This victory gives you a chance to stay in League A of the Nation League. So what are your thoughts about that?
Yes, we knew before that winning, or at least with a draw, we could keep our possibilities to keep the league. Of course, in this case, we are sure to arrive third. And it's important. It's important for us. Like it's important for every team. I don't know why there is still people saying that the Nations League is not important, despite the rules. When we qualified in 2018, we didn't qualify. We qualified during the European qualifiers. We had in our group, we had Croatia, Slovakia, and Wales. We were in the 4th pot, and at the end of the qualifiers we were 4th. When we qualified, and then we went through the playoffs, right? I'm wrong or I'm right, no? Then, now, in the European Championship in Germany, we qualified as first in our group, but the group was not so strong like the previous one. And do you know why? Because we were in the first league of Nations League, and we kept the league. So this is the reason, because I said that people who is saying that the Nations League is not important is wrong, is totally wrong. England now is in the 2nd division. If they don't come up, they could take the risk to have in the same qualifiers group teams like Italy, like Spain, like, and they cannot be sure to go through. That's why the Nations League is important. And despite what the club coaches are saying, because the club coaches are only talking about their own interests. So it's normal, they are complaining about the fact that there are too many matches in a year for a player. I agree with them, absolutely. But in the national team, they play only 10. Not 60 or 70 like in the clubs. So,
Józsi, parancsolj.
Pobjedom ili neriješenim smo mogli opstati u ovoj ligi, ali ipak smo na kraju ostvarili pobjedu. Ne znam zašto ljudi govore da Liga nacija nije uopšte bitna. 2018. godine smo se kvalifikovali u Ligu nacija u grupi sa Hrvatskom, Velsom, Slovačkom i opet smo se uspjeli kvalifikovati. Sada smo se na Evropskom kvalifikovali, iako grupa nije bila toliko jaka. Nije mi jasno zašto ljudi i dalje govore da Liga nacija nije bitna. Znamo da je Engleska u 2. diviziji, ako ne preuzmu neki rizik, neće se ništa promijeniti. I klubski treneri govore i žale se zbog prevelikog broja utakmica za igrače, ali to oni rade samo zbog svojih ličnih interesa. Za nacionalni tim igrači igraju 10 mečeva, ne 16, ne 20.
Köszönjük. Józsi, parancsolj. Could you pass the mic? Andis, segíts le. Így is.
Gergely József, MT. First of all, congratulations to the victory. And I think we were more dangerous at the left side. And it was the plan before the game?
The plan was to manage some situation in which, to be honest, we didn't do what we planned. But due to the fact that we tried to overload the left side, of course, from that side, we were expecting to be more dangerous also, because in that side we were moving both the most talented attacking players we have. So Rolly, Shalai and Dominic. And in overall, when we had the spaces, we did well. I think that we could keep more the ball possession despite their pressure. Sometimes we look for complicated passes or tricks. That was the case to avoid. But in overall we did well. I think that Bosnia played his match. They tried to press from the beginning. They had in the first half a moment in which they were more waiting, I can say, and we took spaces. In the second half, after we scored the second goal, to be honest, that was at the beginning of the second half, sometimes we defended too deep, and this is something that we have to avoid. It's enough for me to keep the defensive line 7, 8, 10 meters higher on the pitch. Of course, being aware of the fact that the opponent can put cheap ball behind the lines. But being aware of this with the goalkeeper who is ready for the long ball, you can avoid some risks.
And can I ask one more?
Yeah, go ahead.
And what do you think, who was the man of the match? Dominik Szoboszlai with 2 goals, or Zsolt Nagy, who get an assist and get a penalty?
I don't want to make, this is your job, so you will decide who was the MVP player of the day, of the night. What I can say is that Dominic scored 2 goals. It was since March that he was not scoring, but we cannot expect that in every match Dominic score and make the difference, because is for us absolutely a top player who could still improve, and I'm sure that he will improve, but we cannot expect from him that every match he could make the difference. Sometimes this cannot happen, could not happen, and everybody has to support him.
További kérdés?
U redu.
More question?
Prvo pitanje. Izvinjavam se samo sekundu. Čestitam na pobjedi. Igrali smo opasnije po lijevoj strani. Da li je to bio plan da fokus bude na lijevu stranu? Odgovor, fokusirali smo se na tu lijevu stranu zbog dobrih igrača koji igraju brzu igru i koji su u odličnoj formi, ali mislim da smo na kraju odradili dobar posao. Bosna je u početku više napadala. Želio sam da imamo malo veći posjed lopte nego što smo imali na početku. Nekada smo igrali duboku obranu, a to je nešto što ja želim, da odbrambeni igrači igraju 7 do 10 metara naprijed. Naravno, treba uvijek biti na oprezu od protivničkih napadača. Drugo pitanje je bilo za koga smatrate MVP-em utakmice. Da li je to Dominik, koji je postigao 2 gola? Odgovor, Dominik je postigao 2 gola, ali ne možemo to od njega uvijek očekivati da on napravi neku tu promjenu u timu.
Good evening. I'm Big János from Nemzeti Sport. Where can you see the development since the September games in the team's game, in the play?
I think that in Hungary many times people is looking, if you are playing well and you are losing, everybody complain because you lost. When you win and you play a decent match, everybody complaining because we could play better. Because if we want to watch always the glass half empty instead of the glass half full, this is every time we can find a situation that could be corrected. This is my job, of course. I know tonight we conceded too much to them the ball, but this belongs to our characteristics. We are better when we play without the ball. And once that we recover the ball, we can play in the spaces. Because we are not a top team. We cannot compare ourselves with the top team that even we beat it several times. The press, has to be aware of this, has to share with the crowd this kind of situation, because in the moment in which we think, the crowd, the environment think that we have to play the European Championship, arriving to the semi-final, is wrong. We lost, I already said, we lost against Switzerland and Germany that could easily arrive Germany to the final. No? Because this referee could give to them a penalty against Spain, right? And Switzerland lost in the last penalty against England in the quarterfinals. So, what we are talking about? We won against Scotland. We did our job. Then there are things that could be improved. Like I mentioned, keeping the line 10 meters higher, we could control better also the ball possession in the moment in which we could recover the ball. There are aspects that could be improved. But if we think that we have to win dominating...
Thank you.
Da li postoji razlika u igranju od prethodnih mečeva? Odgovor, ako igraš dobro i izgubiš, svi se žale zato što si izgubio. A ako odigraš solidan posao i dobiješ, ljudi se žale zato što žele da igraš bolje. Većina ljudi je fokusirana na to da je čaša poluprazna, a ne polupuna. Mi nismo top tim, iako smo ih pobijedili više puta. Izgubili smo od Njemačke i od Švicarske. Postoje stvari naravno koje se mogu promijeniti. Kao što sam već rekao, da odbrana ide 10 metara više, da imamo veći posjed lopte. Ali to je to.
Bravo. You also, bravo.
Thank you.
And then the last question, az utolsó kérdés, Andris, parancsolj. Ide az első sorba.
Marco, now we have 5 points, just like the Netherlands. So we are equal with the Netherlands. The second place is closer to Hungary than the 4th place. What will we do in Amsterdam against Holland?
Look, we know we just played a match at home against them, and we have experienced how strong they are, which kind of players they have, which is the difference between us and them. If we think to go there, in order to start, okay, we want to take the 3 points, we want to win, and we start on pressing them, on doing this thing, like we did against Germany, for instance, then at the end, the match it could end in the same way. So we must, like always I say, we must keep our foot on the ground. They will do everything to beat us, of course. And we will have to see if we will find the perfect day, if we will play everybody of us on the top, and maybe they could have some players not properly at this best level, and in the case of which also the luck will be on our side, we will see which could be the final result. But keeping the foot on the ground, on the paper we are going to Amsterdam, and it's difficult to take points from there. I would like just the last sentence to clarify one aspect of all these things that happened in the last week. We can say we are together since 1 week. You mentioned, not me, I knew, but you mentioned, the press wrote that with these 2 matches, I will be second after Lajos Berotti and before Gustav Sebesh, no, in this special table. I never in my life thought that I am on the same level of Gustav Sebesh. Never in my life. I didn't want to compare myself to a legend like him. Never. I didn't want to compare the Ranchapat with my team. What I only said is that I'm proud. I'm proud to be seated in this bench, to being able to keep this job for 6 or more than 6 years. Also because since Gustav Sebesh arriving to now, all the Hungarian captains on the bench didn't survive more than 3 years. So if I'm still here, I could be proud of this or not. This is the only, we can say, similitude that we can make with Gustav Sebesh and Arani Chapat. Then, when someone talk about me, telling to me that I'm a big face, that I'm arrogant, I think that you know me since a bit. You know me since 12 years, right? I don't think to be an arrogant person. No? It's true or not? Okay. Just to clarify, because, you know.
Ok, pitanje je bilo kakva su očekivanja za utakmicu u Amsterdamu, šta možemo da uradimo. Igrali smo kući i znamo šta da očekujemo. Naravno da želimo ta 3 boda. Mi možemo napadati, ali mogla bi se isto završiti onda kao i u Njemačkoj. Moramo da igramo polako i da naravno da ako budemo imali sreće, ako sreća bude na našoj strani, da ćemo da pobjedimo. Biće naravno teško igrati u Amsterdamu. Sada gospodin Rossi je rekao da je pres napisao da je on arogantan čovjek koji je poredio sebe sa Sebešom. Gospodin Rossi je rekao nikad se ne bih poredio sa takvom legendom. Ponosan sam što sjedim na toj klupi već 6 godina. Imam taj posao 6 godina. Kada mi neko kaže da sam arogantan, ne bi se baš složio sa time.
Köszönjük szépen. Thank you very much.
Jó éjszakát.
Jó utat haza, vigyázzatok magatokra.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.